Manchester United's season has been filled with injury. We are currently on a winning way. We've seen it. We have nipped three in a bounce, but our season hasn't really been that great in terms of personnel and performance. But we can arguably say since Licha came back, we start to win. Now, unfortunately, Licha is out for 8 weeks. And the latest over the weekend, we saw Luke Shaw been taken out for potential injuries. It got a little bit of worry and shivers to my spine and thinking, what are we going to do now? We don't have a left back. But guess what? Fresh news come out that Luke Shaw is okay and is available to play against Luton. He's training on grass. Plus, today we're going to talk about what's going on with Jeremy Frimpong, with the transfer rumors with Frenkie Jong that doesn't really want to go away, and also Real Madrid. Why are they scouting our youngsters? Rasmus Hojlund, Garnacho, Alvaro Fernandes. Stick around, but please like and subscribe to this video right here, right now, and we will be back in 5 seconds with Mark Nurse because this is the M&M Morning News Update Show. It's showtime.
Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV and Beat the Press. Please stay tuned to find out these top stories with your host, Mick Ruby. Welcome to Beat the Press. Here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, let's go. Good morning to you, all of you.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome back, Mark. It's Eminem in the studio. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good, Mick. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Big up to GB. Good morning to you. Big up to Stephanie. I hope you are well as well.
Short and sweet roundup. I feel a little bit relieved. Just the latest updates regarding Luke Shaw, because we got a little bit worried. We were debating who's going to play instead of Luke Shaw, who's going to play instead of Lisandro Martinez, and lo and behold, breaking news late last night is that Luke Shaw was a precautionary. He's back training on grass and predicted to participate against the weekend away game on Luton, Mark. That is 100% a relief, isn't it?
100%. It feels more comforting now. I was starting to get nervous when I saw he walked off the field because, as much as I say it, he is important. He provides that stability on the left.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where we were wondering who's going to replace him. But now,
Amrabat?
he's probably going to be back. It could have been Amrabat. I was
It
saying
could have
that
been.
myself. Or maybe we bring up a youngster. Recently there was reports that Jack Fletcher has been training with the first team every single training session.
You should.
So it's one of those things where there's youngsters in the training session. So
You should.
never know what
And speaking about Amrabat, he did well, filling that gap in the beginning of the season. And Amrabat, that didn't even have a preseason, came in, slotted in the left back position and did quite okay. So I wouldn't be worried. But still, Amrabat, for me, it's a mystery. He's there on the bench. It's a squad player that is kind of versatile to have. He can play left back. He can play in the middle. He can play on the right. It's good. It's good. But listen, this is such a relief, man. Seriously, it's such a relief. Because losing Luke Shaw would have been even a bigger blow. Luke Shaw has been kind of instrumental coming back, linking up, with Rashford. And Rashford clearly missed Luke Shaw to sort of do the overlapping together with him on the left-hand flank. Now, since we played, since we inserted Lindelof and Maguire, we started to play a little bit deeper, not going on the expensive mark. Now we're playing Luton away. It's going to be a shootout, as per my understanding, right? A little bit dodgy Luton, they lost against Sheffield, they got battered, and they battered. Who did they batter with 4-0? That was Brighton, wasn't it?
Yeah, they battered Brighton, and they had a 4-all thriller with, I think it was Newcastle. Was it Newcastle?
I think so.
They
4-all as well. Yeah,
but they drew. It's one of those things where Luton is scoring goals. They have a decent striker. He has a namesake of one of the greats who played. I think he played for Spurs, Adebayor.
Yeah, sure.
Doing well. But you know what? I think United is strong. We've beaten them earlier on this season, and I will always say, when we've beaten a team in a season when we weren't playing well, now we're playing in a much more comfortable
100%.
way. The team is going to have that mentality boost of knowing that we've beat them
100%.
already.
Mark, a question to you, mate. Do you see the style of play coming at the moment, or do you see it's just getting 3 points?
Well, As I was talking with Jarvis last night, I was in the chat asking questions. I was saying to myself, over the last 10 games or so, I started seeing more of the similar attacking patterns happening over and over in the game. And then you would see, more of a structure till the point where we started pointing out that, if Bruno doesn't start staying and holding his position in where he's supposed to be, he looks out of position. So I would
Yeah,
say that
true.
that's a clear style of play. But
It's more of a stability, more of having the right personnel in the right places, according to my opinion. Maybe you disagree to agree, but Ten Hag wasn't wrong when, you know, consecutively in the interviews and the match previews, he's saying, I'm waiting for my full squad to arrive. I'm waiting for my full squad to arrive. Injuries, injuries, injuries. And lo and behold, 3 games in a row, we've seen that he's finally starting to play his preferred starting 11. And therefore, Luke Shaw for me was kind of a pivotal moment to say, yeah, he's been the major contributor because Rashford hasn't been really firing. He's missing Luke Shaw partnership. We've seen the formation on top is they're starting to gel. Rasmus is starting to fire. He's starting to cook. And by the way, Real Madrid is kind of sneaking. No way, man. No way. We were going to get
way,
back to
no
that
way.
story later on as well. And also the midfield, Kobe Maino, my God, 18 years of age, playing like he's a pro already, together with Casemiro. And Bruno Fernandes, as you say, he's got more liberty in playing that free, player maker role as well, right? The back line, Onana keep him being a better performer means that he's more confident in the back four, not protecting and shielding him. Because if you look at Onana, he's had to deal with 11 different personnel changes in front of him, right? So I agree
100.
with them. Now, some people say, well, look at the Serbi, look at, what the Serbi, come on, play style of play. Yeah, they play good football, but they're losing games, man. Okay. What you want? A nice style of play of football, or do you want to win games? You can argue it to the point you can combine them together, but when you're not there, we're starting to shape. We are starting to shape. Mark, are we actually getting out from a 6 months long preseason?
I feel like that's what the case is because if you noticed at the beginning of the season, Rasmus Hojlund, when he received the ball and he would drop deep into the midfield and receive the ball and he would try to turn with the ball and move. But now instead of dropping deep, he receives the ball and he drops it off right to Bruno short. And now because of that, it opens up the attack more. So you can see there's little tactical tweaks and changes happening in
Yep.
the squad that's improving the play. And
Right.
yeah, it seemed like a long preseason for us.
100%. It is a long preseason. Big morning. Good morning to you. Stephanie Griffith is in the house. I see your besties in the house as well. But we need a better alternative on the bench in case Shaw breaks down during Luton game. Where is Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Park that question because this leads into next transition in my thought, Mark, because question to you, it's not sustainable anymore with Luke Shaw, right? His availability keeps breaking down. You reckon in the summer that we will go for a Luke Shaw replacement? Or is Luke Shaw replacement Alvaro Fernandes at Benfica at the moment?
Well, some people might say I'm a bit too crazy when I say this, but I would say it anyway. From the research I've been doing and what I've been looking at, I feel like Alvaro's tenure on loan is to prepare him to replace Luke Shaw next season. As you
I
can
would
see, he
say
was in Spain
100%.
and now he's in Portugal. So he's getting
100%.
different experience.
100%. May I elaborate why you're saying so? I'm not going to steal your thoughts, but for me, it was obvious when they took him out from Granada, to put him in a better, I would say Benfica is leading the league, a better club for his developments. There's future plans with the kids, right? You're saving yourself a lot of money on the transfer market. And Alvaro Fernandez is, for me, according the next upcoming best, left back in the world. He's fast, he's technical, he's got very good defensive abilities. He can actually cross the ball as well. So you save yourself 50, 60 million quid by doing so. Yeah, you might get a little bit of money on loan return and stuff like that, but there's no option for them to buy. It's more, yeah, develop a player, right? So
More like it, yeah.
more like it,
One of those things. And
more
if you
like
look
it.
at Alvaro's performance, you would see that he was focused on in the preseason. And you know what? A young player has to make himself how should I put it? He has to make his spot, make the demand by performing, so he gets that spot into the team. It's not something that's
Yeah.
just given. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
100%. According to Aaron Van Bissaka, AWB injury. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know really what's going on with Malacia, with what do you call it, Mason Mount. I mean, the physical department is just amazing, horrendous, right? Where are they? Well, we know that our physio department is out of date anyway. But question then, guys, to the VR room, to you, Mark. Who do you think that in the summer United will retract out of all the loansters and deals, and who will get a spot? Start with you, Mark. I don't think that. I think Dangor will make the cut back 100%. If you look at positions, for instance, what we need, I don't think that Pelistri is favored by the club. Of course, I think he cooked Barcelona the other day. So maybe Pelistri is more for the Spanish league to be sold. I mean, it's no favoritism. It's just logic to look what we really need. We stacked in the winger position. Amad Diallo has been promised greater things. Something's got to be sacrificed, and I believe it's going to be Pelistri. Greenwood, that's going to be decided in the summer, but it's definitely a striker that we need also in the summer. Put aside all the agendas about the minority and stuff like that. We're not here to judge anyone. But at the end of the day, we spoke about this so many times. We need a younger striker, not a senior striker, because Hojlund is cooking at the moment. So the one for me would be Benjamin Sesko for 40 million in the summer release clause, like for like. But other than that, who would you think will make the cut come back to United in the summer? We spoke about
Well,
Dangor, Alvaro
definitely
Fernandes.
Dan Gore. Definitely
Dangor
Dan Gormick, because what I was told when with some people that I know is that there was a decision made by the squad, by the team and the management, and it was between, it was either choosing, are we going to keep and develop Dan Gore Jr., or are we going to do it with Isaac Hansen Oren? So as you can see, Isaac
the
Hansen Oren was
decision
sold
was
to Peter
Dangor, yeah.
Bremen. So I
Yeah.
think the focus has shifted to Dan Gore, and deservingly so. He's had a great season for the under 21s. He's had an even better season, play captain in
But
the under 18s in the youth league.
was it more of a club assessment? Who should we keep? Who should we sell? Who's got the better future at United? Is it Dangor? Of course, it's what do you say, homegrown talent in a way, or is it to get more money to sell off Aaron Hansen with a buyback clause and insert a sell-on clause as well? So they didn't really make pancake out of it with Aaron Hansen, Isaac Aaron Hansen, Oren.
Yeah, it was one of those things. And it seemed more like a club decision, to be fair, because if you look at it, they're both very talented. I would say Isaac Hansen has a little bit more to offer going forward. He's very creative, but I would also say that he has one deficiency, and although he's very talented, has a great footballing IQ, he's not physically up to the
He's
level
not
as at
physical,
the
no,
moment.
no.
So
I
maybe I
know.
think the development needed for him to get a lot of game time so he
Yeah.
could put on the size and get to deal with it.
All right. But listen, it's exciting times moving ahead, because apparently we have a very talented academy at the moment, very promising youngsters coming out from the under 21s and under 18s. And currently we have youngsters being bled in the first team squad. What is the latest that, Real Madrid is, basically going head over heels for Rasmus Hojlund. They're going head over heels for Garnacho. That means that we have a heck of a good talent here in this squad. How can we are
Yeah,
not a big club? We used to be a big club. We're not playing up there with the Champions League. We know that Hojlund loves Manchester United. There's no chance in hell he will go to Real Madrid.
but they're still knocking on the door, Mick.
They're still
And as the
knocking.
reports have been shown, there's reports from Pletty Goal as well as the Athletic that show that Real Madrid, although interested in Kylian Mbappe, they have yet to replace Karim Benzema. And if Kylian Mbappe is set to be played on the wing, he's not going to be a striker at Real Madrid. So
Yeah.
they're still looking for that striking option. And
What
although
about
they have
Garnacho?
well, Garnacho, you see, they were thinking about making a change with the striker that with the winger they already have in Rodrigo. They were thinking maybe he might not be suited to what they want going
Ah,
forward. And they were looking at the young Garnacho as a possible replacement for him. And they've been liking the way he has been taking form and changing on the right, which makes him also available to be used as an option if Vinny's out on the left. You know what I mean?
Um, no, 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 no. We were linked to Vinny. We were also linked to a potential Chouamini. You know what I mean? Maybe they will try to do like the swap deal card, but there's no chance in hell United will get rid of Garnacho for a. What do you mean, a Chouamini? Like, I don't
But
think so,
you
man.
see, the next thing is that there's also a report saying that they have been looking at the young Kobe Mainu as well because they're
Yeah,
planning a raid of
they
three
are,
players
man.
and possibly four because
Galacticos, stay away. Stay away. Even Pep
100%.
Guardiola bidded 3 times for Kobe Maino. Kobe Maino says, nah, nah, not having it. I think, Mark, in certain sense, if we're speaking about that, it's so important that we are actually retaining our future stars because this is generational makeshift, right? So don't be desperate to sell off your talent just because you need cash. We need to compete. We need to win, according to my opinion. Now,
100%.
speaking about the transfer market, Mark, um, this Frimpong story has been circulating, right? He's cooking at Eintracht Frankfurt at the moment. Man, they're doing a madness. They like, poor Harry Kane went there to win a league title for the first time in his career. Apparently, Frankfurt. No, it's not. Sorry, not Eintracht
Leverkusen.
Frankfurt. Leverkusen. It's basically Donny van de Beek that's not getting minutes at Leverkusen. Poor
Eintracht
Donny.
Frankfurt.
Free Donny. But man, Xavi Alonso there, he's cooking, man. He's
Yeah,
cooking.
he is. He is.
Five,
They're
six
doing
points
really well.
clear of the lead, right?
6 points
Fine.
clear. Bayern
Yeah,
Munich lost at the weekend 3-1. It was tough.
yeah.
It's all the old guys on the bar at the pub in the corner there. They were making noise late at night because they lost. They were disappointed. It was dreadful for them. But at the same time, I'm gonna speak on Frimpong. I think Frimpong is a very accurate, assessment. I think it's highly likely that we're gonna get Frimpong. I think a lot
Yeah,
of people
he's a
may
he's
not.
a right back.
He's a right wing back,
He's a right
and I have to
wing
say
back.
a right wing back because he's very, very good in attack. He's almost like a little bit more experienced and a little bit better Diego Dalot. So
Yeah.
he's good defensively. He tracks back well. He closes down players and he gets forward very well. He's also a
Okay.
very big goal threat.
Okay. So I accept that because for me, it sounds like we're gonna sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the summer and get in a Frimpong in certain sense because that creates competitions between and development between Dalot and Frimpong, right? Is that how you
100%.
see it? Okay.
That's how I
Left.
see it because Frimpong also offers the flexibility to play off the left as well. He has done it 10 times this season for Bayern Leverkusen, so he's not unfamiliar to the role. And what I have to say is that Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's sort of a situation where the club right now they're not even they're running tests this week with him, medicals, because they're not sure why he's unavailable. He was in training on Thursday
Mm, mm,
and
mm.
he left training early with an unknown reason as to why. So
Unknown.
Eric Ten Hag in the post-match press conference was asked about it last Sunday, and he was only able to say that we're going to do assessment this
Okay.
week, and we were
Okay,
unable to
fair enough, fair
clarify.
enough. We'll find out. We will find out in the manager's press conference anyway later on this week as well. Now, moving on to the left back position, then of course we spoke about Alvaro Fernandes potentially coming back in this summer and be the Luke Shaw replacement. Perhaps we're not selling Luke Shaw in the summer. Perhaps we're just going to keep Luke Shaw there and have Alvaro Fernandes as an understudy. Midfield position, speaking about Bayern Munich, right? The reports don't really want to go away regarding Joshua Kimmich as well. Like, apparently I was listening to Fabrizio Romano to say, like, there is some serious talks that, like, he's got 1 year left on his contract. They're going to try to sort of have a chat regarding late April and May to see. But if they don't come to a resolution, he will be available in the summer window. And Manchester United has been reported to go out to look for those kind of players that has 1 year left on the contract. And Joshua Kimmich, he's a fantastic player. He's a fantastic midfielder, right? So what seems to be the issue? Why doesn't he want to renew a contract at Bayern?
He's been having a bad season, to say the least. If I had to say, he's not been in good form. He's had 2 injuries this season. It's been tough for him. He had a decent outing in the Champions League, even against Manchester United. I would say those would be his highlight performances of the season so far. He has not been I'm not sure if it's something with the new tactics of Thomas Tuchel, but since the season before, he has not been really having a great time at Bayern Munich.
No.
So it's more like for the last 2 seasons, he's been kind of good, kind of bad.
Yeah,
He's also about to be 29. I think Joshua Kimmich has always played in the Bundesliga. He's a very good talent. I would say top talent in the central defensive area in world football. I'm just one of those that might be a little bit uncertain about going for Joshua Kimmich, though. I
29 years
think
of age. Nah, I don't think so. Go
because
for
I'm
something
like
like
thinking like we're
27.
gonna end up in a similar Casemiro situation. We're gonna
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
him
yeah, yeah,
for the
yeah.
season, and then
Yeah,
he's gonna turn 30, and everyone is gonna say he's old.
30. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a stopgap then, right? There's probably better solutions to look at. And by the way, I'm not really rating. I mean, if you look at Bayern, they hoover up every single talent, so their midfield bench is quite stacked as well. And
It's that.
it's all about Thomas Tuchel, how he's managing the squad. He's not doing great at the moment. And another midfield target, which seems to be not going away. I refuse to sort of say anything about it because I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it until I see it. But Fabrizio also spoken about it, and it is the financial situation of Frankie De Jong. My God, I know a lot of people in the fan base they are over it because he snubbed us in the summer. They said, but it was all about the financial levers. It was all about the finances. But apparently, right now, according to the Fabrizio latest, is what he's saying that the club are struggling for finances, and he's one of the highest earners in the club, and they're looking to resolve his deferred wages. But after that, they're willing to ship him off, right? They need to sell to buy in the summer. And this is the horrid situation with Barcelona. They need to raise funds so they can strengthen. Would you take a bloody Frankie de Jong in that midfield, or you reckon we need something better?
I mean, I would say yes, but I would say yes for the sole reason that the manager, that was his marquee signing that he never got. You know what I mean? And I could envision that, maybe we have Champions League. Let's say we get Champions League next season.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Okay.
need a backup. We're gonna need
We need.
someone who could come in games and Casemiro could get a rest, or Kobe could get a rest, and De Jong provides that. I think he can do both roles as equally as good. He's
Right.
young and he's got the talent. The manager knows him.
Fair play. I mean, if we get a Champions League, definitely why not get both Kimmich and De Jong because we need a strong midfield, and we have Dan Gore in there. I don't think that, for instance, Hannibal Mejbri. I think Hannibal Mejbri will be sold, to be honest, right? Because we need to generate funds. Would I take De Jong? 100%. I would. 100%. What a midfield that would be! Imagine De Jong playing with Kobe Maino, De Jong playing with Casemiro. You have still yet to be seen why we paid money for him. They can play that number 10 role or play on the right or play on the left. We'll have a bloody good midfield, to be honest. Ericsson is going out in the summer as well. We still have Bruno Fernandes. I don't know what's going on with Frankie de Jong. Poor Frankie. Jesus, I feel sorry for him. He's not getting minutes at Eintracht Frankfurt. But, we are cooking. We are
Oh,
getting
you
there.
mean Donny? He played 4 games this season, though,
Donny.
for them so far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if we
He had
do
a
get a
little
Frankie de
injury.
Jong, let's just say, if you do get a Frankie de Jong, we know Ten Hag's obsession. We know we've seen evidence that Murtaugh and Arnold was there, fine whining and dining, making the deal, and at that time they came to agreement of 75 million euros. Now I saw the latest report by 90 Minutes. The Barcelona wants 100 million. How many years does he have left on his contract? I think it's 2 years left on his contract, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
You cannot demand 100 million, right? Huh?
Probably. Ooh,
Well, if you
Frankie De
had an
Jong, you
agreement
mean?
for 75, all of a
Frankie
sudden
De
the
Jong
price
has
comes.
1 more year on his contract.
One more
This is
year.
1 more year.
You cannot demand
So,
100 million. Get out of
mm,
town.
and they owe him money. They haven't
Yep.
paid him his wages for the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
So it's one of those things for me where I look at it like he can complement Kobe because he plays off the left, Kobe plays off the right. He can complement Casemiro. He could alternate as the DM or the box to box. I see it as like if we get them both, we might need them because there's Champions League. We're gonna need a substitute, or
Right.
someone is gonna have to get rest at some point in time. So
Anyway, guys, it is the paper talk. The paper talk, as per usual. We are back here in the morning just to deliver what's been reported in the paper. Whatever you believe, if you believe in tooth fairies, if you believe in paper talk, transfer rumors, it's up to you how you receive it. We're just here applying our opinions. And do not forget to smash that like button. It's so important. Let's go to the comment section before we close the shop. Let's keep it down to 30 compact minutes. Madhouse, I say, would you spend half of all that budget on the Young? I wouldn't have a clue, man. It's not my money, to be honest. It's not my money. It's fantasy money. You know what I mean? I definitely would. Compass Smurf, is Frankie De Jong Maino competitive enough for the Premier League? He is
I think so.
very bloody press resistant. He's another glider 2.0, collects the ball deep. He's a goal scoring threat as well. Can drive with the ball. He's a ball carrier, man. This guy's got installed like a 360 vision sensor like that, right?
Yeah,
Imagine
he's
having
very
two of
good.
those Kobe Mano as well. Like, whew, whew, that'd be great. But still, I agree what you're saying. We need a competitive force in the midfield, like a tank, like a Dangor in the midfield, to be honest.
And we all know Dango has the bite in midfield.
It's got
We've
the
seen
bite,
it
yeah.
in preseason. He got a red card.
Yeah. No. What's the fullback's name in Newcastle? What the hell is it's not Dango. What's his name? Dan Burn.
Dan
Jesus, that
Burn,
guy's a beast.
that
Have you
guy is a
seen him?
tank.
Have you seen him? He's like, wow,
6'4", 200 pounds, pure muscle. Dude looks like a monster,
dude.
man.
Yeah. Imagine having that GI Joe in the midfield, that is fast, competitive. You should not pass. That's a destroyer. That is a destroyer. But still, guys, we still have Casemiro 2 years left on his contract, so it's vital for me that we keep Casemiro for the leadership. Marcin was. I can't really pronounce your
Marcin
surname.
Wazawati, I think.
He's a Wizawati. Ten Hag will go sooner or later, and Frankie De Jong would stay with big salary. Well, apparently it's been reported that they're going to have contract talks because his contract expires within 1 year as well, so they're going to have renewals. What a giant, guys. Compass Merck, we had an awful window last year. We can't afford to waste transfer this summer. We need at least 3 defenders and a midfielder and a striker. That is what
I
we
agree
need.
with that in an extent because I think maybe a lot of people think that Alvaro isn't going to return, but I strongly think that he's going to come back. I think
Yeah.
maybe we couldn't give him the game time he would need it, and no one could have predicted that Shaw and Malacia would not be available at this point in the season. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's one of those things.
Okay,
So I
guys,
think
wrap it up. Wrap it up. Leave your comments in the comments section below after this video. Do hit the like. We will be back at 3 p.m. UK time with a little bit of a longer stream. And we're going to talk about the ratification, the delay, what's going on, the dodgy deals and shading. We've been quiet on this channel, sitting back and observing. But it's time to have a conversation, I think, because we saw reports from Ben Jacob to say that the Premier League is stalling on approving Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And it's not Ineos, it's actually Trawlers Limited. What is that all about? What's going on behind the scenes? We're going to provide an independent opinion, looking at what the mainstream media is saying and what the independent tweets and other accounts are saying. And at the end of the day, it's our duty, it's our club. Glazes out is what we want, 100% full sale only, but we got to have a conversation regardless of what. Stay tuned, guys. Tune in to our show then at 3 p.m. UK time. And until then, beautiful people, this has been a short, snappy update with my boy. I don't know his name anymore. What's his
big
name?
up to Mick Ruby, and it's your boy Mark and MUFC fan. You know how we do, guys. Big up to you, Madhouse, coming in all the time. Big up to Stephanie. Compost Smurf is always here. Big up to GB,
Yeah,
Kenny
man.
Fan TV, Dark Crow. Hope you have a good day, my buddy. You know how it is, guys. We'll see you all later. Don't forget to be here. Hey, Nikhil, hope you're good. Come in again soon. We'll
Yeah,
see
man.
you all later on today where we discuss the dodgy deals. Guys, stay tuned for more information from Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe if you're new. Smash it for Mick. He's this guy like he never sleeps this way. He
I,
never
I
sleeps.
don't. I don't sleep. I live for this club. And I do sleep upside down like a vampire, like a bat. Anyway, guys, beautiful people, 30 minutes. Let's wrap it up. Let's see you guys later. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Bankers out, glazes out, and love each other on the socials. Bye for now. Thank you. Ciao.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.